Well, today I'm going to tell you steps that you need to take to venture into farming. There are a lot of people who call me every day that they want to go into farming. So what I'm going to do in this video is to give you some few steps on how to venture into farming, and every week I'm going to give you several other steps that you can follow to be able to achieve that aim of venturing into farming. The first thing you need to do is commitment. First of all, you need to know where exactly you want to begin your farm. You need to look for a land. And third, you need to get people who would take good care of your farm for you. Now, for instance, if you live in Accra and you want to go into farming, you don't necessarily have to get a land in Accra. I'll give you an example of people I met, people who traveled beyond their countries to venture into farming elsewhere. I know a lot of people in Ghana who traveled from Kenya, several other African countries to venture into farming in Ghana here. So you don't necessarily have to get land where you stay. What you need to do is to get a land that you can afford anywhere in the country. But before getting the land, this is very important to every person who would want to go into farming. Before you get the land, we have had cases where farmers say, my farm produce have not been bought. I have several farm produce. I have harvested so many bags of maize and nobody is buying. I have harvested vegetables and nobody is coming to buy. It is because many of them don't do the visibility studies. Now, what you need to do is to do the visibility studies at wherever you want to start the farm. I mentioned earlier that the first thing you need to look for is commitment. Second, you look for land. It does not necessarily matter where you stay. It does not necessarily matter where you live. What matters is where you can get affordable land. So you don't need to have your land close to you. What you need to do is to have a land where you can be able to produce whatever you want to produce. So first, if you have the land in, for instance, let's say you have the land in the eastern region, what you need to do is to do the visibility studies in that particular community. You should be able to determine whether the type of crop or the type of farming you want to venture into would give you back the investment. Now, if you go to a community and there are a lot of tomato farmers there, or there are a lot of maize farmers there, and you decided that, okay, let me also go into maize farming. Let me go into maize farming. It is not economically wise to do that. So what you need to do is that, okay, you need to study which type of crop would you be able to invest and get back your money. Say that if you realize that a lot of farmers there are not cultivating a particular crop, and you know the demand out there is very high, then it is very important. It doesn't matter, even if you are the first person to start growing that crop in that community, it is very important to start. So one, you need to do visibility studies. And when you do that visibility studies, what you need to do is first find out what is the most popular crop that people grow. What is the most popular farming that people do? When you are able to find out, now you then look at what can you do there, what else can you cultivate or grow there that will give you back your investment, because it is very important not to also grow or cultivate the same crops that about 90% of the farmers in the community grow. Because when you do that, you are putting yourself in a very difficult situation. As a beginner, you need to go for a land that you can afford, and you need to go for a land that you can be able to expand when your farm is growing, because this is an investment you want to make. So you don't go and acquire an acre of land and in future you would have problems of expansion. So that is why it is always recommended that you move away from where you are to places where you can easily expand your farm. Thank you so much. Next week I'll come again farming. So I'm sure that at the end of every steps that I share with you, you will know how to venture into farming without any problem. Thank you so much.